Welcome back to Limitless Mentality, where we discuss profound psychological truths to help you improve your life. Today, we're diving deep into something that creeps up on people silently. Regrets. If you've ever wondered what choices you're making today that could haunt you tomorrow, stick around, because in this video, we're going to uncover the 12 regrets that hit the hardest in your 30s and 40s. Some of these might surprise you, but every single one has the power to change the trajectory of your life. Let's get into it. Regret number 1. Prioritizing work over health. It starts small, skipping the gym for a meeting, grabbing fast food because you're too busy, staying up late to finish one more task. But here's where most people get it wrong. They believe health is something you can get back later. The truth: your body keeps score. Studies show that chronic stress, poor sleep, and lack of physical activity in your 20s and 30s directly correlate with serious health issues later on, like heart disease, diabetes, and burnout. And once you hit your 40s, the energy you once took for granted starts to fade fast. Don't wait for a diagnosis to prioritize your well-being. Health is not a luxury. It's your foundation. Regret number 2. Staying in the wrong relationships too long. You tell yourself they'll change. You tell yourself you're just going through a rough patch. But months become years, and before you know it, you're emotionally drained, disconnected, and stuck. Here's the psychological kicker. We stay in unhealthy relationships due to something called the sunk cost fallacy. The more time we've invested, the harder it becomes to walk away, even when it's destroying us. But no matter how much time you've spent, every day you stay in the wrong relationship is another day you delay the right one. Regret number 3. Ignoring your inner voice. You know that quiet whisper inside you that says, "This isn't right," or "You were meant for more." That's your intuition, and too often, we ignore it, drowning it out with busyness, people-pleasing, or fear of the unknown. But here's the painful truth. The longer you silence your inner voice, the louder regret becomes. And by the time you reach your late 30s or 40s, the disconnect can feel unbearable. Learn to listen to yourself. Your inner voice is wiser than you think. Regret number 4. Letting fear dictate your choices. How many times have you said no? Not because you didn't want something, but because you were afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid of judgment. Afraid to leave your comfort zone. In your 20s, fear feels like a safety net. But in your 30s and 40s, fear becomes a cage. And what you once thought was protecting you turns out to be the very thing that held you back from the life you truly wanted. Fear never really disappears. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. Regret number 5. Not investing early. In money and mindset. Let's take a step back because this one is crucial. Most people only think about investing in terms of money. Yes, compound interest is powerful. But there's another kind of investment that pays off even more. Your mindset. If you're not reading, learning, growing, or surrounding yourself with people who challenge your beliefs, you're not compounding. You're coasting. And coasting leads to stagnation. Years go by, and suddenly you feel behind. Financially, emotionally, and mentally. Start now. Even small daily investments, $10 a week, 10 pages a day can radically change your future. Regret number 6. Comparing yourself to everyone else. Comparison is the thief of joy and the killer of authenticity. In your 20s, it's tempting to measure your success by someone else's timeline. But the psychological trap here is called social comparison theory. We look at other people's highlight reels and feel like we're falling behind. By your 40s, if you're not careful, this comparison game becomes toxic. You'll look back and realize you built a life that looked good, but didn't feel good. Here's the truth. There's no finish line in life, only alignment. Success is living a life that's true to you, not Instagram. Regret number 7. Neglecting friendships. As we grow older, friendships often take a backseat. But here's the surprising science. Strong social connections are one of the top predictors of long-term happiness and health. People in their 30s and 40s often feel lonely, not because they don't know people, but because they stopped nurturing their relationships. Regret hits hardest when you realize you have success, but no one to share it with. Regret number 8. Not taking risks when you had the chance. There's something powerful about youth resilience. In your 20s and early 30s, failure isn't fatal. It's fuel. But many people play it safe. They avoid risk to avoid discomfort. And in doing so, they also avoid growth. Later in life, what hurts most isn't the risks you took and failed at. It's the chances you never took at all. You can always recover from a setback, but you can't get back lost time. Regret number 9. Living by other people's expectations. The pressure to conform is real. You choose a career that pleases them. You suppress your creativity. You shrink yourself to fit in. But living someone else's life is a slow erosion of the soul. And by the time you realize it, you've built a life that feels more like a performance than a purpose. In psychology, this is called self-alienation. When your outer life no longer reflects your inner truth. Freedom begins the moment you stop seeking permission to be yourself. Regret number 10. Not practicing emotional discipline. Here's one that no one talks about enough. Emotional reactivity. Whether it's anger, jealousy, defensiveness, or blame. Not learning to regulate your emotions will cost you relationships, opportunities, and peace. In your 30s and 40s, emotional discipline becomes a superpower. People who can stay calm under pressure, choose thoughtful responses over knee-jerk reactions, and process pain without projecting it. Those are the people who thrive. Emotions are real, but they're not always reliable. Learn to feel them without being ruled by them. Regret number 11. Waiting for the right time. This is one of the most deceptive lies we tell ourselves. I'll start when. But perfection is a myth. Life will never be fully ready for your dreams. And waiting becomes a habit. First, it's for a month, then a year, then a decade. The truth? The right time is a decision, not a date. And it usually starts with imperfect action. Do the thing, start the project, make the move. You'll figure it out as you go. Regret number 12. Forgetting to be present. This one hits the hardest. We spend so much time chasing the next goal, the next milestone, the next version of ourselves, that we forget to live this version. You blink, and your kids are grown. Your parents are aging. Your youth is behind you. Happiness isn't found in some future destination. It's found in the moments you're too distracted to notice. Put down the phone. Breathe. Listen. Laugh. Be here now. Regret isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. A subtle ache. A what-if that lingers. But it doesn't have to control you. The choices you make today can become your peace tomorrow, or your pain. The good news? It's never too late to choose differently. Reflection creates awareness, and awareness creates freedom. Which of these 12 regrets resonated with you the most? Have you already started noticing any of them in your own life? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more eye-opening insights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and stay limitless.